tuning in to another episode of Omni Gamers, where we like to play games and have fun. Here we're going to be playing another Legacy of the Void custom fan-made alpha game here today. And let's go ahead and introduce our players. Over on the left-hand side, we have none other than Omni's Mr. Weasel. And over here on the right-hand side, we have one of the Iranitom brothers. Alright, so this is a custom Legacy of the Void alpha. It is very much fun to play. I definitely suggest to look at the other videos that I've done with the Legacy of the Void 1v1s, as it should be linked right here. So let's go ahead and cast what's going on in this video here. Here I am playing Terran. I've usually been playing Protoss in the last couple of matches, but I've seen that there's some want to take a look at the Terran side of the Legacy of the Void, so being curious myself, I'm just definitely interested in it, so I decided to play Terran this match here. And we're just having a little bit of a friendly chat here. He's asking me what the new Protoss Legacy of the Void units are, and I was just telling him, you know, I didn't want to tell him what tech to go for, because then I would just know, so I gave him options. I was like saying, you know, you can get the Disruptor, which is Robotech, or you can go for Oracles, which is the Stargate tech, but either way there, I'm not completely telling him what to do or telling him what tech to go for, so I was trying to be friendly and, you know, suggest things for him there. So, got an expansion coming down, as well as on the other side here. I'm pretty sure there's going to be an expansion coming down very soon. Looks like he's going for Twilight Council and setting up some proxy pylons. Scouting it out, seeing that the wall is definitely up, and it looks like there is going to be a Herc that is going to be hopefully being able to take out this probe here with its grappling ability, which it looks like it is going to go ahead and grapple. Question is can it take out that probe? It was able to grapple, but it didn't look like it was able to get a shot off after that. It looks like when the probe is continuously moving, it's not going to be able to get a shot off even after the Herc does utilize its grapple ability there. So kind of a bummer deal there, not able to get that pickup there. Looks like the Herc is going to abandon killing the probe and head straight for the Protoss base, which a Nexus has just come down at the natural. It looks like the Twilight Council, there is going to be a Blink research. Now with that early Twilight Council, I was kind of thinking that there was going to be some DT action, but it looks like that is not the case, as there's going to be some Stalkers and Herc micro going on here, and the grapple going down. Very nice grapple, able to save that one Herc, as well as get the other Herc to engage. So really good Herc micro there. Two Hercs are able to take down two Stalkers with the rank micro. So we're going to run into the mineral line here and try and get some probe kills. Looks like they were able to get, looks like 2 kills there. So overall, not entirely too bad, not entirely too great. Could have been better, but they did get 2 Stalkers before they killed some probes there as well. So looks like a third Herc making his way. He's just not there in time though to do anything. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and run back home. Looks like there's another Herc here as well. Really need to start taking down that pylon there so that this command center can get nuzzled into that mineral line. And there is definitely a proxy location up here, which is something to keep in mind moving forward into this game. And it looks like there's a sufficient amount of barracks, all of which have tech labs. So the perk production is going to be pretty steady, it looks like, at this point here. Yep. And saturation's coming down on the natural. Looks like quite a bit of gateways have been added on. Well, +1 attack for ground being researched. Looks like one of the gateways being canceled there. As it looks like he just had one too many gateways. I myself probably would have just kept it because you can pretty much afford that on 2 base. You can afford more than that, really. 5 gates is not enough gates for 2 base in Legacy of the Void. Especially if you're maintaining, staying, not supply capped, and really you could even tack on a Robo or a Stargate on top of that, I feel like, depending on whatever you want to go for. It looks like a third is going to be coming down at this location for the Terran player here, as it is getting harassed here, so it looks like that these stalkers are going to be able to get the cancel on that there, and the Bioforce is not going to be able to do anything about it on time here. Proxy Pylon in a bit of a precarious spot there. It is a little bit exposed, and it looks like that it is going to get spotted by the Terran player here. Look at that new bio just go to work. Very interesting to see the Hercs joining the Marauder and Marine bio composition here, so it's really kind of interesting. See how that works out here. It looks like that all of the biotech has been researched, other than combat shields, which is about to finish here. So all of the bio units are going to be utilized during this game here, it looks like, in their fullest capability. And as well, we do have charge lots, it looks like, and blink stalkers. So this is going to be very interesting to see all of these units duking it out to the fullest of their capabilities here. Zealots charging in on the Hercs, but they are just pretty much destroyed there in an instant, it looked like there, with the combined siege fire and the splash damage from the Hercs, which, by the way, do 30 damage, as well as there's an amount of splash damage that it deals with the arc cannon upgrade, which you research out of the tech lab. Yeah, the siege tank, of course, is always done splash damage, which is decent against any armored units. Pretty much anything. They do lots of damage. And definitely something to keep in mind here is that medevacs can now lift off, load up siege tanks while they are sieged. So that is really cool. You don't need any research to do that. It's just something that you can simply do now, and that is really cool. So it's definitely something that is going to be really interesting to see if it gets nerfed or whether it's going to be here to stay. It definitely does feel like it empowers Terran players to utilize siege tanks. I feel like siege tanks haven't seen a whole lot of action in Heart of the Swarm, so hopefully it does kind of encourage players to bring them back, because I feel like they do have some serious potential with Biome if they are able to be mixed into the composition with relative ease, because I mean, all you need to do is keep your tanks sieged now, and you can pretty much load them up into medevacs, like right there. The siege tank is now a intermixable part of the biocomposition with the medevacs, so with the instant of having the ability to deploy siege tanks along with having that powerful bioforce. That is a very powerful composition. I mean, it just gives Medivacs and Terran Bioforces a lot more versatility in general, because you can do the same old standard drop play with your Bioforces, or you can load up all your Medivacs with a siege tank each and march your guys in and just drop your tanks and give your bio a super powerful punch to go with it. So that's just really, really cool. I feel like that just adds to the versatility of the composition, and you know, as well, it just makes siege tanks a lot more useful, because I mean, an otherwise immobile unit is now much more mobile, like crazy mobile. Medivacs are just crazy mobile in general, so that combination of units is just crazy powerful. I definitely like seeing the siege tanks all clustered together like that. It's just really cool to see the little siege cannons popping out of the nose of the Medivacs. It's like the sprites don't even fit together, but they just go together. So there's another tank. Looks like there's going to be a total of 4 tanks with this composition here. And like I mentioned, tanks are just going to get dropped. They're instantly in siege, and the Bioforces stem forward with the tanks firing in the back while the Medivacs heal the bio. So every unit doing its part there. Just crazy overpowered, yes, I agree. Yeah. It's just really cool to see that. I feel like the new bio is going to be very, very powerful. I feel like we need to go back and watch that one more time, just because there was all that build up to that moment, and it was just over in an instant. So let's just watch that one more time here. So, Bioforces move in, they see the army, tanks get deployed in a safe distance away, and Bioforces stem forward. All tanks are deployed. Every unit does its part. And the most exciting part of that is, of course, the Medivacs just being able to deploy the tanks in siege mode. It feels like it completes the unit composition, so much to the point where it does feel like it is overpowered. So it'll be really interesting to see whether or not this gets nerfed, because I feel like it is really, really useful tool that Terran players can utilize. But on the flip side of that, I know that there are a lot of players that think that this is very, very upsetting to see, because tank and Medivac aggression in general has been something difficult to deal with in general in the past in HOTS without these abilities to load up sieged up tanks. But we'll definitely see if things go, the way things have been so far in Legacy of the Void for the alpha, when eventually when the beta comes out, and hopefully, I hope they keep it the way that it is at this time here, because that is just a really cool thing to see, and it's really exciting to have that ability in game. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in our upcoming videos. Take it easy.